I would introduce you to the SCAR, but chances are you already knew what this platform was before you even knew how to spell your own name. Now, although it was stunning, flashy, and new, some disagreed that it could do anything different than the standard M4. Yet, like many great things, that still didn't stop the public from falling in love with it and allowing it to showcase its flashy smile on the big screen. Now, by no means is it new to the airsoft world, but when it comes to making them in the gas blowback form, WE held a monopoly on the airsoft market for quite some time, and needless to say, those were great. Basically, VFC showed up after that, said hold my beer, Cybergun licensed it to get it available in different markets, and now we finally have a competitor. The VFC SCAR. Before we crank into this review, I do want to say that this is not brand new. I picked this up aftermarket on the Hop-Up apps. There are a couple bells and whistles that are on here that don't come with the VFC SCAR, such as the West Hunter LPVO, the flashlight and pressure pad, the 45-degree Stark foregrip, and of course the Whisper Pickle. Finally, time for the Stupid Airsoft official review. Let's start at the rear. Back end is this massive boot-looking stock. You have a rubber butt pad on the rear, a giant polymer stock, and it comes with a couple buttons, bells, and whistles. First off, you have this small little triangular lever that will allow you to adjust the length of your stock. It's got 6 positions, all labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then, of course, a cheek riser with a button that you can press it up. It's only got 2 different variants, up and down. Lastly is a button that will allow you to fold the stock over. I do want to say the stock is extremely sturdy with minimal wiggle. Once you press the button, it'll unlatch, and then the stock itself will latch under the mock ejection port. And again, super sturdy. Just to the left side of the stock, you will notice there are 2 points for sling mounts. And then if you switch it off to the right side, there's another one. As you move into the lower area where you're going to touch everything, you have a plastic polymer grip, which is honestly not that comfortable. I would recommend switching this out like I probably will. The trigger, the fire selector, which is in fact ambidextrous and labeled, your mag ejection port, which is also ambidextrous, and then your bolt release, which is not. When it comes to switching off to semi and auto, it's just a simple click of the button. But when you want to switch it to safe, you have to set the hammer. The trigger will not move until you switch it back to semi or auto, and the trigger fires. The trigger is honestly incredible. A solid click. It's got a minimal reset. It's a straight wall, and then it just breaks. This is a tight trigger. Very short. Just feels freaking awesome. This charging handle is positioned on the left. However, you can also move it to the right side. It's ambidextrous. I'll show you how to switch that off later. Your ejection port is just below that. Moving on to the rail space, there's a ton on top, some on the left and right side, and then on the bottom, you have plenty of space for any optics, flashlights, lasers. You're not going to run out. And just to the left side is another point for a sling mount, and they didn't skip the right side either. Your irons are flip-up, standard SCAR sights. They are windage and elevation adjustable, and what's really cool with the SCARs is the front sight is mounted to the bracket with the barrel, and it folds away in front so that you can use your scope and it doesn't get in the way. Your outer barrel also comes with a barrel extension and a 14mm counterclockwise thread on the front. And now it's time where things get a little interesting. It comes with a hop-up tool, which isn't necessary, but is usable. You pull the tool out of the gas block, flip the SCAR upside down, and you'll notice this small little Allen key space down at the base. I'm sorry, not Allen key. It's technically a T5 bit. You insert that guy there, and then you can adjust the hop-up. It does not click. It is simply just an Allen key that's under, I guess, rubber tension. But it's super easy to access, and then you can take that tool and put it back. We'll check out the mag now and then how it sits. It's an aluminum body with a polymer upper that is welded, or I guess one solid piece to the feed lips. You cannot see the channel of the BBs or the follower. Gas router is large. This is your dry fire switch. So if you pull it back, it allows dry fire. Push it forward, it doesn't allow dry fire. Gas fill valve, release valve, and then it's got this interesting little adapter on the bottom. I guess it's easier to grab the mags that way out of the pouch. It's super wobbly. I don't know. It's all right. I might throw something rubber on there instead. Index it. Goes straight in. There's no movement up and down. No movement forward and little movement forward and back. And side to side, there is no movement. That is snug as a rug. And it falls out nice and easy too. So, well done. I hear you. let's shoot it. I know you're waiting. I'll be running the T238 speed loader and 0.25 gram BBs for this entire test. When it comes to gas efficiency, it's important that we keep in mind the temperature, the type of gas we're using, and if it's a new bottle, which it is. Thanks for sponsoring it, Lancer Tactical. It is 37 degrees Fahrenheit, which is why we are using high pressure green gas. This is actually Lancer Tactical's equivalent to red gas, so keep that in mind. We're accommodating for the cold weather. So I'd be lying to you if I told you I haven't tested this out already. The T238 speed loader can load these mags. It's just a little bit finicky and it gets kind of angry at us, so we just have to give it some convincing. Also, to figure out how many BBs this holds, I'm just going to throw it on infinite, and all the BBs are already at the top, so we'll see how many it can load if I can get it to take. It's like a little angle thing that I have to do here. There we go. See, these mags are tight, but if I just mess with it a little bit, I can find the angle. Come on. Oh, nope. I guess we're not going to figure out how many BBs this thing wants to hold. I might just have to look it up. Okay, is that max fill? Yeah, that's max full. So we're all the way full, and it looks like, I don't know, somewhere close to 45, maybe? Let me look it up. EVIC says 30, so I guess a couple of those extra rounds are the ones that kind of just spewed out. And what we're going to do now is fill this guy with the green gas, or I guess technically equivalent to red gas, until you can't hear it move anymore. It's a single wave valve, so there's no gas spewing out, and we're just going until I can't hear the bottle emptying. The reason for that is specifically because today we are going to test out its gas efficiency, which basically means all I want to do is see on a single gas fill how many full mags of BBs, or 30 round fills, can we get out of that one gas fill. And we're just going to run it on semi, no forgiveness, no rest periods between mags. I'm going to empty it, fill it, empty it, fill it, and we'll just see how much it can handle. I'm imagining with the size of this reservoir, we're going to get quite a bit of fills. I also do want to say that I only fired this once or twice inside and then during a short. So from what I recall, the kick on this thing is ridiculous. In terms of airsoft gas blowbacks, it's unreal. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Oh my. Oh. Do we not see those just falling at the front? There we go. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. We locked back. There's still a BB in there. What's going on? Okay, that was the only BB left in there. I just want to say that the recoil on this thing feels like it's going to explode. It is just ripping. Let me fill this with some more BBs. This is Mag 2 on semi. Imagine the gas efficiency is going to be a little bit worse because of the cold, and let's see how she does. Dude, the recoil on that is insane. And we locked back. Mag 3 here, totally filled up. Oh, that mag's getting really cold. What was that? No? Is there just not enough gas? There we go. That was weird. A little sluggish. Some gas pressure buildup. That's all she got. Oh my God, that's cold. Whoa. I'm not gonna touch it. You're gonna have to believe me. That mag is like extremely cold, but we did manage to get all the BBs out. So I would say 2 mags like successfully. The other one, it emptied. I think it would totally be able to finish it in a non-cold climate with some mag cool down, obviously. It would get a little bit more and build up pressure again, but that is not too bad. Let's switch it to auto. So this right here is a brand new mag. This was just sitting on my chest rig, so it's, I guess, ambient temperature. It is filled with BBs and fully filled with the same gas that we used before. Something I do want to mention is when you are filling these with gas, do not fill them until it is not making any sound anymore. You just want to fill it for like 7 to 10 seconds. That's ideal. I'm overdoing it because I'm really trying to see how much liquid propane or liquid gas I could fit inside of this thing. But in reality, to save your buckings, save your O-rings, save your seals and stuff like that, and to avoid liquid gas spilling into the mag or into the replica or into the nozzle, into the barrel and stuff, like 7 to 10 seconds all you need on any good GBB mag. All right, here we go. First auto test. And again, zero forgiveness. I am just going to lay down the law with this one and see if it can empty the whole thing in 3, 2, 1. What happened? Bolt got stuck. See that? We have a jam somewhere? Okay. All right, our nozzle is stuck. I have no idea what happened. I might have to take this thing down now. Oh, come on, bro. It's very interesting. So I was kind of taking a look at it to see what the problem is, and it looks like the nozzle here connected to the bolt carrier, the O-ring on the bottom of the nozzle that helps create the air seal on the inside of the bolt just ripped in half and got jammed between the nozzle and the bolt carrier. So we might be screwed here. I'm going to see if I can't find a O-ring that I have lying around and replace that really quick. I'll be right back. I am happy to say that the O-ring disaster has been solved, and I completely refilled the mag and regassed it, so this is, I guess, restarting again. There we go. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Dang. Okay, a little gas out there, obviously, from the overgassing, but we did empty the mag and we did lock back. I will say we completely filled up the mag, but I think a lot of that issue is from the overgassing. It seems to really not like the overgas, so just keep that in mind. That closed on its own. I didn't press that. Okay, here we go. Okay, no lock back. We did empty the mag. Oh, dropping things. I guess we'll just fill it again. Running a little weak there. Third bag though, baby, let's go. That's all we got. We didn't empty that full one, so like, we'll say 2. Let's check out the accuracy now. So the hop up should be all dialed in and ready to go. We are ready on semi, and I've got a purple target there around about 100 feet, and it's like body sized, maybe a little bit smaller. And we'll see if we can't lay some shots down. And I'll stay out of the view so you can kind of see how they fly. Just make sure the hop up's dialed in for that distance, and our LPVO is as well. Nope, it's not. Okay, I'm going to increase the hop. Now we should be good. Here we go. Okay, that's a hit. Slight over the head. Hit. Slight to the right over the head. Hit. Slight to the right over the shoulder. Hit. 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 Slight to the right over the shoulder. Slight to the right over the shoulder. Hit. 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 Slight to the right over the torso. To the right. Hit. 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 And that's a full mag. In just a second, we're going to chrono it and we'll take it apart, but I figured why not just run a couple drills, kind of handle the ergonomics and whatnot. I mean, it is a SCAR. We know people love it. If I said otherwise, which I do like it, but if I said otherwise, I'd get reamed out for it. Run a couple drills. I got 3 full mags filled with gas. This time we only filled it for about 7-8 seconds. For the first drill, why don't we do like a movement-based drill? We'll 2 shots on the wood, 2 shots on the purple. We'll run up right side of the target, left side of the target, under the target, and then we'll cross on over, 2 more shots on the purple, and then we'll make our way into the back, and I'll try and hit 3 of the left side targets that I have at like headshot distance. So large target, medium target, and then some headshot distance targets. So I don't have a little beeper, so beep. Oh, the snow is a little rough here. Here we go. Let's do another one. We're gonna run some general hand switching drills. We'll go from right to left to right side 3 times a piece on the purple target. And then I'm gonna run straight into the back and we'll try and plink off 2 shots on each of the steel targets in the back from left to right. Keep in mind, I'm wearing a jacket, so it's gonna be a little bit tough, but it's cold out, so. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'm losing it. Where's the LPVO? There it is. Into the back. From left to right. Oh, come on, I gotta get lower for that one. Where's the other one? There it is. There we go. 3 mags, 3 steps, 2 shots, reload. We'll see if my brain can handle it. I'm starting with the bolt back already. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's only one in there. 2, 3. Oh, that's safe. Duh. Running low on gas. It's getting cold. It's chrono time. We're going to turn on the Ace Tech AC 5000, and we're just going to make sure that we're set for the 0.25s that we have in there. Again, I'm just running 0.25s because that's what I have available right now. Obviously, this thing should be able to hop better. Again, something to bear in mind here with this test, what we're testing for specifically is just to see its consistency and what power it's at right now, because I don't know if there's a different barrel in here, different bucking, if anything has been modified at all, because I haven't like dove into this and really looked at it just yet. So we're just going to see what mine is running at now, and if the shots are relatively close together or if they are just all over the place. So let's figure that out. Here we go. Notoriously, I have a hard time with this because I can never get it to go through the hole. That's what she said. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 325 FPS at 1.23 joules. I thought it was going to be higher power than that. That's 320 at 1.2, 316 at 1.17, 310 at 1.12 joules, 313 at 1.14 joules, 309 at 1.1 joules, 306 at 1.09 joules, 301 at 1.06 joules, 300 at 1.04 joules, and 249 at 1.01 joules. Yeah, so definitely have a consistent drop. It's not dropping the fastest, but it's dropping pretty dang quick. I'm going to be honest, I expected that to fire pretty hot. I think, I don't know if you can get them in different power output available, or if like they have different nozzles or whatnot, but I think Evik was saying 400 plus, so it might have been a modification of that. But at least you could see like what the drop in FPS consistency is, especially at least in 37 degrees Fahrenheit. So as we start getting into the tear down, we'll obviously go over the construction and all of the parts and pieces and some other things and whatnot. And I also kind of just want to show you a few things that I did notice. So the upper and lower receiver do wobble just a little bit. I don't know if you could, I don't know why we're not focusing. I don't know if you could see that. Very little wobble. It's a little noticeable when you're playing around with it. When you're holding the upper receiver too, you can kind of feel that. So that's just something to keep in mind. For the takedown, however, it's extremely simple. There's a pin right up in the front. What you're going to do is press that from left to right, and it'll pull itself on out as far as it can go. You'll drop the lower receiver from the front downwards, and then, if I can get it to wiggle, on forward. And just like that, we're presented with the lower receiver and all of the hammer components inside. If we take a magnet here, we could see that the hammer is not steel. It's some sort of aluminum or pot metal. I guess that's your bolt stop is steel. Your sear is going to be steel. A few hammer parts are steel. A lot of the, obviously, springs and pins and screws are going to be steel. So is the rod that holds your hammer, spring, and rod in. Your fire selector switch bar is not steel. A mixture between steel and what looks like either aluminum. I think it's aluminum. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's aluminum. To get to the upper receiver and pull that guy apart, all you're going to do is take the stock, and be careful because it is under spring tension here. You're just going to pull the stock down, keep a finger on it. The stock comes out, and it's just one gigantic polymer chunk. I'm going to take the spring and guide rod out, and you can see that the spring and guide rod themselves are steel. So is the screw at the end, but this big platform in the back is polymer. In order to get your bolt carrier out, on the underside there is a small little plastic piece that you have to move forward into these channels, and that'll just pop on out. And this is your buffer. You can see it's got a little bit of rubber behind it, so it's going to help cushion the blow of the blowback housing. This, though, is polymer. If we pull our bolt carrier back as far as it can go, we can pull out the charging handle, and you can see the charging handle here has a steel insert with a plastic handle. It's really cool too, to reduce movement and wiggle on this guy. They actually do include a small little O-ring around the outside of the pin, so just keep in mind if it starts to wobble a lot, you may just have to replace that. The bolt carrier will now slide out the back. It is quite large. You can see this entire rod as well as the nozzle. And a couple things that I just want to note here. You can see this is the O-ring that we busted during the fire testing. It just split in half. The nozzle, weirdly enough, packs two O-rings, one in the back and one in the front. The back is the one that busted on us. These two O-rings are really nice because they help really over-exaggerate the gas seal between the bolt carrier and the nozzle. The nozzle's plastic. The bolt carrier is one gigantic piece of CNC'd aluminum. Obviously, some of your external parts, like the part that's going to connect the spring to the nozzle, is going to be metal. All you have to do is remove that screw, and the spring becomes free. To get the nozzle out, there is a screw here, screw there, and a screw there. The nozzle will come forward, and this whole C-clamp or arm that holds the nozzle in place will pop off, and then you can maintenance the nozzle if need be. Other than that, this is where you would change out what position you want your charging handle, if you want it that way, or if you want it on the right side. It will only sit in one direction because it is flat on either side, so it can't sit like this. It has to go this direction in order to sit into place. After taking a further look on the inside, you can see the hop-up unit and the hop rubber, which does look like it is the standard hop rubber from the original SCAR. I'm going to wind up changing that out as well as the inner barrel at some point, but it's nice to know that those things were stock. Now this is where things are going to start to get a little bit funky. Can you see all the wear on the inside of the hop rubber or the hop unit up at the top and on the sides? That's actually really indented in and uneven. And then if we take a look at where it connects to the blowback housing, you could see that uneven wear starts to build up here. It's like almost like a beveled edge here. So that's a little bit concerning. That could create a small sharp edge right here that might start to eat away at the spring and guide rod. So you may want to start to file that down a tad bit. The wear on the sides looks even, but we're also getting some connection on the edge where the screw is that holds this nozzle in place, so one of the three screws. So I'm worried that's going to start to warp the screw. That's a large piece of steel, so it might be okay, but I don't know. That's just grounds for concern. Maybe like a small thin piece of rubber on either side, if we glue that in place, or even like an O-ring around the edge of that, that might help solve that problem. but just something that's grounds for concern. As for your hammer assembly, I don't think you're going to have any issues with it. Everything looks like it's got really large contact points, even though they aren't like steel. Some of them are aluminum. Like, this is a massive hammer. These are some massive springs, and nothing really looks like it's starting to wear in too harshly. Maybe like up on the part of the hammer that is right here. Looks like there's some wear on it, but all in all, the thing is, it's thick. I really don't think that it's going to cause any problems long term. So midway to installing everything back together, I do think this is really important to note. So this little buffer here that kind of rides around the spring and guide rod and is supposed to cushion the blow of the blowback housing, it's supposed to sit just in front of here. The problem with that is it's used to cushion against this thin piece of polymer, and it's just literally blowing itself apart, and it is starting to crack on the receiver here. So I imagine maybe filling this with like some epoxy or something might help. And then I noticed this is the piece of that O-ring that we busted before. Just blew back into the housing. I don't know. Not a good look. Moral of the story here with the VFC SCAR. How do I feel about it? What do I think? It's an absolute blast. It's a rip. Do I think it feels better than the WE? Yeah, absolutely. And I think they've done a really nice job with the external construction. It feels awesome. It's pretty dang accurate, and it's a SCAR. So in reality, it's a platform that we're familiar with. It's really comfortable, and it works. We're talking about something that rivals a military service weapon, like design and functionality, almost to a T. And again, it's a SCAR. Who doesn't love a SCAR H? But with VFC, I think there's a couple of things here that can be a problem. I don't know if the O-ring that exploded on us is particularly my fault because it got too cold, or if this is just because the thing is, the O-rings were starting to get old and crack, or I really have no idea. So I can't blame it on that part. However, the uneven wear on the bolt carrier up in the front where it connects to the hop-up unit can be grounds of concern. I really don't like the way that looks, and I'm a little bit worried about it. And then the plastic piece inside the lower receiver as well. I just feel like the kick on this thing is incredible, but it also equally feels like it's trying to blow itself apart. And that concerns me. A lot of the things that I do want to prop them on is the fact that you have that little hop-up tool up in the front is really, really nice. Overall construction feels solid. I think that they did a decent job. I think if we can figure out a solution for these few fixes, like maybe if there is like an epoxy mod that I can do in there, maybe if I can put some rubber bumpers up in the front, we might be able to make this something that will last a long term. But if you do pick one of these up, keep in mind, you may have to tamper with it, and you really got to make sure some aftermarket parts are available, or just replacement parts are available, because it might explode. It just simply might explode. It's always honest here. And if you have any requests or suggestions for our next review, I try and improve one thing every single time that we do this. Please let me know. I hope you enjoyed this one on the VFC SCAR. Catch you in the next one. Peace.